Hey guys, it's me. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty and hardcore match setups. First I'm going to go with my first class. I guess it's kind of hard to see. Um, let's see here. Can we move closer and can you... Oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to have to hold my controller there. Basically what we see here is AK-47 with silencer, USP, silencer, bomb squad, sleight of hand, extreme conditioning. Now, let's see if I can move the table so... There we go. Anyways, so generally what I like to think about when I think of hardcore is not being heard, no matter what weapon class I'm using. Now, for this example, let's see, my perk 1. I mean, we have a couple of choices. A lot of people could easily make the argument for a rush class. You could say, well, why not use 3 frag or 3 special grenades as opposed to the bomb squad, because really your first perk slot really doesn't have much to do with stealth as much as it just is helping you either detect or I don't know, give you some extra somethings. But I generally like to go with bomb squad because if I'm running around a lot and I really don't want to just be hit by a bomb just randomly, it's kind of crappy. But also you could go with the special grenades if you find yourself running around corners a lot, wanting to throw lots of flash or stuns. Frags, if you find yourself throwing nades a lot, it's really, what's best for you, but I like to go with the bomb squad. With your perk 2, this really depends on what kind of class you're making. For a silent rush class, I really only have 2 suggestions for you. Either go with your UAV jammer or go with your sleight of hand. And the reason for this is with your UAV jammer, the obviousness of not being detected with the UAV if the enemy does pop one up, because when UAVs come up on Xbox Live especially, people just use the radar and not pay too much attention about people around corners who might be holding the UAV jammer. At the same point in time, sleight of hand is really useful for a rush class because you can pretty much reload and keep going with very little sweat at all. Mind you, with that being said, if you find yourself being extremely good at staying alive for long periods of times, you might want to go with Bandolier because it just gives you extra magazines. Now, perk 3, this has a bunch of options for you. Yeah, for hardcore, I suggest looking at extreme conditioning, steady aim, dead silence, and deep impact, depending on what class you have. Maybe iron lungs. Right now we're talking about a rush class. Generally one of your best options is extreme conditioning because obviously lets you run faster. Or at the same point in time, you could also make the same argument about steady aim because you might be firing a lot more at the hip if you're rushing around corners a lot. Generally, I don't like to go with Last Stand or Martyrdom because Martyrdom, especially in hardcore mode, it can get very messy if you're often with your own teammates. And Last Stand, Last Stand really doesn't aid you in the long run. If you can stay alive for a long period of time, you're better off choosing something that's going to help you play your game during it. But I've seen lots of people use Last Stand, and sometimes it catches me off guard. Deep impact, I would say you want to keep that to your sniper classes and your light machine guns. Same with iron lungs. If you're going to use it, you want to put that on your snipers only. Dead silence. That's another one that you could use. Maybe not for a rush class. You could use it for a rush class, but I usually like to use it on my stealth class instead. I mean, they're all set up for stealth, but I like to go with the extreme conditioning because having that extra running power is really useful when I'm rushing. Now let's talk about your sidearms. Basically, it doesn't matter what sidearm you're going to be using. When you're in hardcore mode, however, I forget which these both have medium capacity, but this one has a high capacity. I go with a USP because I haven't, I don't know, I kind of like the feel of the gun and whatnot, but I seriously suggest using the M9 instead. In fact, I'm going to change my class to the M9 because it has a higher clip capacity and most of them do the same damage, and so I don't know, it's hardcore, you don't really need to worry too much about the damage of your weapon. Anyways, now on to special grenades for your rush class. Smoke grenades are mainly used, in my mind, for distraction, sometimes to put up a barrier while you're running through, but usually when I see smoke, I like to pop a couple rounds in there and see if I can get any hits. Stun grenade and flash grenade, the difference between the two is a stun makes the character go slower, but the flash grenade keeps the character at its regular speed, but makes the screen go white for a certain period of time, whereas a stun grenade will give you like a second of non-visibility and then it'll go away. The reason why I don't know, I've been rotating between the two. I'm finding flash grenades a bit better because they if you can't see for a while and you're trying to run and frantically hide, there's a very big possibility you'll just run into a wall, me running into a wall, running around stupidly into the open. And if I've seen lots of people do that, and because of that, flash grenades are really good. Mind you, stun grenades, if you can catch somebody looking the other way, and maybe a couple of guys looking the other way, and throw a flash grenade in front, stun grenade in front of them, there's no way they're going to turn around in time for you to take out a whole bunch of them. I'm going to throw on my flash grenades for now. Now, our primary weapons, for a rush class, there's a couple of choices, I think. Yeah, I'm not completely done, so I mean, I have the M14 and the MP44 still needing to be unlocked, but I generally like to get as far as a silencer for all my classes. Usually for a rush, I would choose either an AK with the silencer or an M4 with the silencer. G36 also works too, but I find that the AK is my favorite because it has really good sights. It's a strong gun. Mind you, with the silencer on it, the range is moved back a bit, but also the kickback of the gun is reduced, and it makes for a really effective silent weapon. Whereas if you were to choose, say, red dot sight, you are going to be heard. So if you're going to be putting something on like UAV jammer or dead silence, you need to put your silencer on, or else it's pretty much useless. So I like to go with the silencer. Mind you that M4 does have a bit harder to see through sight, so I don't go with that one often if I'm going for stealth, but if I'm not going for stealth, then I usually would put the red dot on this thing, and as you can see with my 3 perks here, my bomb squad, my sleight of hand, and extreme conditioning, really I could just easily throw on the M4 with the red dot and not have to change any of my other perks. Well, anyways, another gun you could also use for this is either your AK-47 U, I'm assuming the U stands for undersized because it is smaller, or the P90. The P90 because it has a high clip capacity, so you can fire for a while before it runs out, and the AK-47 because It's kind of the same gun as the regular AK-47, except for I think the only difference really is it has a bit more mobility. I'm just going to check the stats. The range of the AK-47 seems to be a bit higher, whereas this AK-47 here, wait, what's the damage? Actually, this damage is actually a bit higher too. So if you're looking for a high damage gun, definitely go for the AK-47U, because it's better than the P90. Mind you, the P90 fires faster. It's a bit of a feel thing, but really I'd go between the two AKs, the P90 and the M4 if you're making a rush class. Alright, next time I'm going to talk about stealth class.